Legalization of marijuana, one of the 4 ballot questions that Massachusetts voters will have to decide on Tuesday.
This morning, looking at what happens next if question 4 passes, such as decisions lawmakers would have to make and when it would be sold in stores. Julianne Pixoto live in the control room with a look ahead.
Good morning. A new poll conducted by our Boston affiliate and UMass Amherst shows a majority of Massachusetts residents support question 4. 700 voters were polled and 53% of them said they support legalizing pot. 40% of them said they're against it and 7% remain unsure. If question 4 is approved, anyone 21 years or older could begin using and possessing marijuana on December 15th, and stores could start selling pot in January of 2018. Those against question 4 worry about regulating edibles, drugged driving, and the tax rate. The ballot question says the tax on pot in Massachusetts would be 12%, 6.25% for standard mass sales tax, 2% would go to the city or town where it's sold, and the remaining 3.75% would cover the cost of regulation and enforcement. Some say it should be higher, while others argue that would be counterproductive in competing with the black market. Governor Charlie Baker, Mayor Marty Walsh, and countless other elected leaders and law enforcement officials are against legalization, while many residents support it.
I'm for it.
You know, if that's what people want to do, let them live their life.
We don't have standard field sobriety testing that's really associated with marijuana use.
In Massachusetts, voters may actually impact Rhode Islanders. Coming up in about 30 minutes, hear what Governor Gina Raimondo says is the future of recreational marijuana legalization here in Rhode Island. Live in the control room, Julianne Pixoto, Eyewitness News.
So if Massachusetts voters legalize marijuana in the upcoming election, Rhode Island could be following in its footsteps. Governor Gina Raimondo telling our news partners at the Providence Journal she's taking steps to be ready if recreational pot ends up on the ballot in the Ocean State. Eyewitness News reporter Julianne Pixoto is live in our control room with the details.
Good morning, Danielle. Well, medical marijuana was officially legalized in Rhode Island about a decade ago. And if recreational marijuana is passed in Massachusetts, Governor Raimondo says Rhode Island may quickly follow suit. In an interview with the Providence Journal, Raimondo says she and her staff have been quietly preparing for a possible future where marijuana is completely legalized. If question 4 passes in Massachusetts, she says the process here would be looked at more closely and with higher priority. But the foundation is already being laid. Included in this year's budget, reforms for the medical marijuana program and a framework to someday regulate recreational pot. Some of the changes include a barcode tracking system, mandatory testing for pesticides, mold, and drug potency, and labeling requirements. Raimondo thinks if it's done correctly, legalizing recreational pot would greatly boost the economy. Massachusetts estimates it could collect up to $60 million in tax money within the first few years of recreational sales. Now, if question 4 passes in Massachusetts, residents 21 years and older could begin possessing and using marijuana as early as December 15th, and stores could begin selling it in January of 2018. Live in the control room, Julianne Pixoto, Eyewitness News.